So the one D&D playtest came out yesterday, when I was playing D&D no less, and I got the chance to read it, and while there is a lot to talk about in there, I honestly just want to spend this video gushing about the new changes for Rogue and Cunning Strikes. Holy shit, Cunning Strikes are so fucking good. So let me show you just how good Cunning Strikes is. If you don't know, it's a new feature in the 1D&D playtest that rogues get at level 5, and whenever you deal sneak attack damage, you can actually forego one die of that damage at level 5 to add an extra effect onto it. If it requires a saving throw, it's the usual DC calculation for calculating a saving throw. You have Disarm, which is just a dex save or they lose their weapon, meaning you can hit a mage from melee or range, because that's how sneak attack works, and you can make them drop their staff, and then you or a buddy goes to pick it up. Or you can knock a shield out of a guy's hand and then reduce his AC. Go and take that shield. You can then poison them. Poisoning is pretty good, and the fact that it will just cost you 1d6 damage from your sneak attack, and you don't need to spend money on anything other than just simply procuring a poisoner's kit is fantastic. Especially considering the fact that the DC is going to be your rogue DC, and not any set DC of poison. That is incredible. You also have Trip, which is especially good when you factor in the fact that they just reverted Sneak Attack to be once per turn rather than once per attack action that you take. Meaning you can opportunity attack and trip somebody with your Sneak Attack and still do damage. You also have Withdraw, which adds another option for rogues to get in, do their damage, and get out, as opposed to relying on their bonus action, which means thieves can now use their bonus action, run in, hit somebody, do slightly less damage, and then dip out. Already, we are looking at incredible value that rogues have on literally every single turn. These are basically mini Battle Master maneuvers, if not whole-on Battle Master maneuvers, and it just means the rogue has to sacrifice a little bit of damage, and I absolutely love this design. But it gets even better at later levels. At level 11, you get improved Cunning Strike, which means you can use 2 Cunning Strike effects at the same time. And if you combine this with Weapon Mastery, you're going to be getting 3 valuable effects all at the same time for the low cost of only 2d6 damage from your sneak attack. But it doesn't stop there, folks. At level 14, you get Devious Strikes, which add to your Cunning Strike options, meaning you can do 2 of these, 2 of your normal Cunning Strike, or you can do 1 of each. It's all up to you. So you have Dazed, which is in the 1D&D playtest here, that the target can either move or take an action, not both. And no matter what, they cannot take a bonus action or a reaction. And all this for the cost of only 2d6 damage? Yes, please. And then you have Knockout, 66 damage, a heavy investment to be sure, but you still get to render someone unconscious for 1 whole minute. You actually now get to do the movie guy thing of you walk up behind someone, slap them in the back of the neck, and then they fall unconscious. And you get still a little bit of added damage to boot. Granted, they are going to be able to repeat the save at the end of each of their turns, but considering this is level 14, and this is an extra effect that rogues get to do, in addition to literally everything else that they have, and the things they are going to be wanting to do in-game that has nothing to do with the mechanics of their class, this is just beautiful. And lastly, you have Obscure, which is that you blind somebody, which is really nice. However, at level 14, I feel as though you're going to want to make someone fall asleep every chance you get. However, blinding is still just incredibly valuable. You disarm the spellcaster of his staff, and then you blind him so that way any spell he has that doesn't require material components, he can't do either because he can't target anything. And then, who knows, maybe the wizard's gonna cast silence on him or something, and then he's just fucked. And again, you gotta think about the fact that this is going to be combining with Weapon Mastery. And amongst Weapon Mastery, you're gonna have Trip, you're gonna have Cleave, you're gonna be able to do more damage, you're gonna keep giving yourself advantage, you're gonna be getting so many things. Combining all this with what Rogue is going to be getting makes them actually probably the most interesting class that is not a spellcaster. Effective? I don't know. That is going to require playtest. But interesting? Absolutely. And not only that, the subclasses are going to be getting their own Cunning Strike options. For example, Assassin is going to let you do an extra 2d6 poison damage when you take the poison option for your Cunning Strike. Meaning, if the saving throw is failed, that means you're actually getting a 1d6 damage bonus from that. Granted, it's at level 13, but you're still going to be getting a damage bonus and poisoning somebody, all for one use of a feature that is no limit. Thieves are getting one called Stealth Attack, meaning if you're hidden, I know it says invisible, but it just means hidden here, you can stay hidden even after you've hurt a guy, just so long as you end behind some substantial cover, which, all for the cost of 1d6, is going to make Thieves very, very, very good in any combat to where there's any form of cover, which means any combat that a good DM, or an aspiring good DM, is going to want to try and include. And Swashbuckler is getting a whole slew of extra Cunning Strike options. You have Goad, which is 1v1 me, bro, and not only are they going to have disadvantage on attacks against anybody that isn't you, they also can't opportunity attack those guys, meaning you 1v1 him, and your allies can gang up on him, and he won't do a single thing about it because he is enamored with you. He is going to want to fuck you up, but he is the one that is going to get fucked up. And then you have Awe, which is that each creature of your choice within 30 feet of you is going to be charmed until the end of your next turn. You can wow an entire crowd of people. When you stab their boss, they're going to be like, oh man, that guy's so awesome. It is amazing, it is hilarious, and I love it. But wait, there's more! You get Parodying Stance, which is you get to roll a d6 and add it to your AC until the start of your next turn, which means, considering you can sneak attack twice per round now, you can add 2d6 to your AC potentially, and considering you're a Swashbuckler, that is going to be really, really good considering where you want to be. Not only that, you have Invigorate, which is basically a small bardic inspiration when you hit somebody with your sneak attack. And remember, this is all added to your Cunning Strike options, so you can inspire somebody and charm an entire crowd at the same time. You literally just wink when you stab the big boss, and everybody's gonna love you, and your teammates are gonna fight better. And not only that, again, pair this with Weapon Mastery. The options here are so vast. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is S-tier game design from Wizards of the Coast. They've been taking massive L's constantly, especially in the game design department, as far as I'm concerned. And now that they've made this rogue, it's not necessarily going to inspire me to really want to play 1D&D, but it has renewed some faint glimmer of hope that they know what they're doing in some capacity. So when the survey comes out, I am absolutely going to sing the praises of the rogue. This is incredible. I love this. So if you're going to be playing rogue in the 1D&D playtest, absolutely do whatever kind of shenanigans you want, because this is the kind of design we need for non-spellcasting classes. It may not be the most powerful thing, but it absolutely is probably one of the most interesting things that a non-spellcaster can do. And I adore that. I understand the power difference of spellcasters and non-spellcasters, and if we're not going to be giving them more power, we should at least make what they do a lot more interesting, and this does that. And I do think it does still add power. So, I guess that's it for me gushing about Cunning Strikes. Thank you for watching. If you want me to talk about D&D more, or post more shorts of me just fucking about in games, then just do that comment, like, and subscribe stuff. I'm not gonna harp on you on that. It's your own life. Have a good day, everybody. I love y'all. And definitely fill out that survey for the rogue. Goodbye.